So we are back with the Gameshow Global eSports Cup. My name is Boo. You can follow me on Twitter if you want to. If you don't want to, it's your loss. No, let's focus on the game. EnVyUs against Vexed. The first map will be Cash, the map pick of the Frenchman. The second one would be, don't let me lie, it would be Train, and then it's Cobblestone as the decider. The map veto was as follows. Envy banned Dust 2, Vex banned Inferno. So I think the strongest maps for each team have been eliminated. After that was the picks, and then the ban of Overpass by Envy and ban of Mirage by Vexed. We will start in the knife round already, so let's get ready for the show. I welcome every single one of you. Oh, the knife is not live. It looked like it was live for a second. But we have some more time to bring up the health menu, for example, which I really like. The GoTV always hides away. Cash should be a map that EnVyUs wins quite convincingly. But I wouldn't be surprised if Vexed get them in some trouble, you know, win a few rounds in a row, break their economy maybe at one stage. But overall, Envy is a way stronger team. That's no real mystery. We should also adjust the score in the best of 3. That's something that I will handle now. There we go. So now we should have everyone on the server. Maniac is joining the coach role as soon as the knife is over. Yes, this looks like a knife to me. Speaking of Cash, it has been a fairly CT-sided map, but it swung around to the T side. Now it's more or less a 50-50. And EnVyUs had a very good result over there, or numerous good results. They weren't really challenged by any team except for Question Mark and Virtus Pro, who won 16-4 and 16-7. But those two teams are the guys that that are challenges for Envy. You know, those are the teams that are on the same level. They look eye to eye with the Frenchman. And, the teams had a little fun. I wanted to talk about that earlier. When the admin wanted to map veto with them, NBK asked him which map should we pick, and the mod, aka the admin, aka mod, was joking around a little bit and said, let's pick Aztec. And NBK said, yeah, I would love to play Aztec, let's play Aztec. And Vex was on the train as well. They said, yeah, let's go for Aztec. And then they were going all crazy with the maps. They said, let's play Office, Aztec, and another hostage map. Let's play with hostages. And Vex said, yeah, that's a nice idea, let's go for it. So we might have also ended up on a hostage map. Would be quite funny to cast that. I think that would be quite cool for a little fun tournament. Maybe just a few $100 on the line, you know, get the pros to have some fun as well in the game they play for money. We should get the game live in a few moments. It's not live yet, even though the players pretend to be live. As you can see, they wouldn't knife each other like NBK just did. Speaking of knife kills, Nico got a very cheeky knife kill in the last round of the first half of the second map against X-Titan on Shocks. That was definitely a little stinging. Maybe we can see a few cheeky knives over here as well. Cash should be, as I said, the map that EnVyUs wins very decisively. We could have another or a different affair on Train. It's a very one-sided map, so Vex could theoretically get a few good rounds. If they win both pistols, for example, they would have a really good chance at upsetting EnVyUs on Train. It's one of those maps that is just prone to be an upset if you get off to a bad start. it could mean that you run into some trouble financially, then mentally, and also on the scoreboard. But I don't think that Cash will be the same. EnVyUs could even afford to lose a few crucial rounds and then still come back. It's a map that suits their skill very well. They have strong aim, they also have strong executions and strong team play. So everything is working in favor of EnVyUs on Cash. The past results of Rallen and company on Vexed have been, if you filter on hltv.org, they have been promising. You see 4 wins out of 4 maps, but then you go down and you look at the teams they played, and they weren't the strongest teams. Ain might have been the strongest of those, and they managed to win 16-13. So Vexed won 16-13 against Ain. If you're not familiar with the Danish squad, that's Snappy, Percy, SMF, Glaive, and Hunden. So Vexed even had some trouble against tier 2 Danish team. No offense to anyone, but Ain are definitely not a contender for a major spot, for example, which Vexed is. Now let's see what they can come up with. They are on the CT side. It's historically the more favorite side, but the terrorists have made it more difficult for the CTs to get control. And Valve did its own job as well with the tweaking of the M4A1 as well as the smokes. So let's see if Vex can hold off that first EnVyUs attack. The Frenchman will push through middle, and they send 3 players over there. NBK already takes point, just spams middle, goes for a peek into A bomb site, and now he splits up. He makes as much noise as possible, tries to draw the CTs over there, but the main advance will commence on the B bomb site. Apex with a straight headshot onto Furlan. NBK with one in middle, and it's Hyper, the only pole to reply. He will be pushed by Kenyas from the back, and as quickly as that, we end up in a 4v2. Rallen and Gruby are out of position at the moment. They are behind the smokes, and I don't know if they even get... Well, maybe they can sneak in 1 frag, but that should be all they can achieve. There is Kenyas shutting down Rallen, and Grubby, the last one. It's not the StarCraft 2 player, or is he even StarCraft 2? Yeah, I think Grubby played StarCraft 2, or is still playing. But he was a Warcraft 3. He was a legend in that game. Now Gruby is backing away. He wants to save his armor. Obviously not the P2000, but it's only about the armor. EnVyUs win that round straightforward, no time wasted. Quick execution through middle. Send NBK over here to A. Leave him there to make some trouble. The rest runs through vents and also comes from here. No problem for the Frenchmen. They will try the same, but a slightly different approach to the B bomb site with AKs, UMPs, and also Mac-10s and MP7s. Trying to farm some money is Kenny S with that tiny Mac-10. He gets 1 frag. Happy holds the back while his teammates will mob up the frags on the B bomb site. In fact, the CTs will reply successfully with 2 frags, but that's not everything they wanted to do. Furlan and Repo, they still have a chance here. Furlan is coming in from the back. He's got the 5-7 ready. Oh, misses the first few shots, but makes up for that with a second. Almost gets a 180-degree shot onto Happy, but Repo is still alive with a deal, and Happy will get his second of the round, saving the AK as well. EnVyUs is struggling already, but that was very, very well played by Furlan and Repo. They took their time, they got in right positions, and they were backstabbing correctly, with one taking the attention away and the other one going for the frags. Sadly, Happy was in a very good position, so he was able to turn it back into the favor of EnVyUs. Now the Frenchmen have learned their lesson. They will take it way slower this time around. Everyone's just peeking and covering the angles. So they just wait for the CTs to go for some information, to go for a peek, risk their lives. And the Frenchmen want to punish them as quickly as possible. Now Groovy is not punished for that peek, but the information is not really worth anything. Well, there he goes, happy with some good AK aim. The information that there's a terrorist hanging out in middle in the 3rd round. I mean, I could call it while my eyes are blindfolded, so that's really not that big of a mystery. Hyper is now the last man standing on B, and the terrorist will come for him eventually. Especially Kenny could get some additional money with that kill. Happy's already close by, he will jump up, and Envy picks up that last kill as well. 3-0. The one round was a struggle, the other one was a whitewash. So the terrorist money is back to where it should be after the first 3 rounds, roughly at the 3k. Nobody except for Kenny is below the 2k dollar mark, so it is working quite well for the terrorists. Rellin goes for the AWP here in the first rifle round. The same goes for Kenny S, so we might see the first showdown already. Kenny is on A main while Rellin goes for the B peak. Middle is controlled by Repo. And the rest of the CTs is also fairly aggressively set up. Hyper with a peek in front of the smoke, so he gets the information. He makes the terrorist back away. And EnVyUs completely give up the B bomb site. They are focused and only focused on the A bomb site. Ferlin is already behind or on the other side of the door. Happy will open it up and he will be shot in the face. Oh, Ferlin. Oh, he messed up that chance to get the first frag. Happy stays alive. Apex already pushes into the side. Repo with a rotation. But it all unfolds too quickly for the CTs to react. The terrorists have or are about to plant the bomb. Now Rellin with the important frag, but gets traded by Kenny S, who still holds down the forklift. 2v3. Kenny with another one. Great shot by him. And Hyper is backing away. Doesn't have a chance anymore. No reason for him to risk his life and the equipment. When that round could have turned out differently if only Ferlin had gotten that frag onto Happy. Then he could have focused on A main together with Rellin, and it would have turned out way differently. But Vexed have learned their lesson. They wasted that one chance to get into the game. And EnVyUs know that the Poles have a few cheeky setups, so maybe they will take it a little slower. Maybe they want to just swamp and storm the CTs, you know, just overwhelm them and suffocate. The cheeky positions will not get used to great success if you just overrun the CTs. For now, EnVyUs will probably take it a little slower. They expect some traps around the map, so they just wait and see what is going to happen. Molotovs to draw the CTs out of position. Great flash by Hyper. He gets killed by NBK. On the other side, Happy was opening up on Ferlin. But the CTs did some damage, and that's the lifeline for the Poles. They have to focus, you know, if you're the underdog, you have to focus on those small things that make you happy. Like picking up a frag. Hyper was in a very bad position, but he still got the kill. And those small things you have to cheer yourself on and your teammates as well. I would definitely tap Hyper's shoulder now. If I was his teammate, I would say, well, good job. You were kind of lost there. You were, you shouldn't have been able to pick up a frag, but you still did it. And obviously you were traded, but that's not something that you have to be mad about. Rellin is saving that AK for the next round. Vexed will be back on weapons, and he can drop that AK. Maybe they could even go for an AWP. Rellin showing his his lifting skills. He knows that the terrorists are on the other side. He must be backing, right? Oh, he runs into MPK. That's unfortunate for him. But MBK is having a really good time here together with Happy. 8 kills for Happy, 6 for Kenny S. On the other side, we have Hyper and Groovy on 3 and 2. Overall, the CTs need to have a few more frags. Oh, what a backstab knife by MBK onto Keo. That could be the changing factor here in the round. Let's see how they handle it. Keo is changing his position now. He is going for B, and the CT is dealing a lot of damage. Repo goes down to the flames, and MBK with 1 onto Groovy, making it a 3v4. But the T's are quite low on MBK and Keo, obviously. But backstabbed by MBK. Now Ferlin didn't get spotted by Kenny S. He was focused on mid still. But Rallin spots MBK in the vents. Oh, Kenny is very quick to get back in there and tags Rallin while he was running away. And Keo will finish the job. Keo with another one onto Hyper. And that was a slight over-rotation by the CTs. Maybe they were a little too quick. You know, in those situations when the terrorists are about to get to the bomb site, you want to be very quick to intercept them. That's why Hyper was running there as quickly as possible, but Keo knew that the CTs would probably send somebody there to take the peak, and Keo had the stronger weapon and the better aim in this situation. So EnVyUs make it 6-0 and Vexed on the save. So can they set up a trap that makes EnVyUs lose a leg, or maybe both legs? Doesn't seem like it. Keo already hoses them down on the B-bomb site. Ferlin might pick up a frag, but EnVyUs is covering everything. Oh, Happy having some trouble here with the AK spray. Ferlin realizes he has to back away, and he was a little panicking there. Getting caught in the corner. EnVyUs knows that Ferlin is jailed in there. Apex has that angle pinned down. They just wait for Ferlin to get back into the side. Now Apex snaps like a shark that has spotted his prey. Kenny S does pick up one as well. And the terrorists in full control. Repo and Groovy. They might pick up a cheeky 1D here for Repo. But Groovy goes down on the B-bomb side, and Repo tries to rotate back there. He spots MBK off guard for a small second. The Frenchman is not making any mistakes. 7-0 for EnVyUs. It's a scoreline that we all expected, but it's a scoreline that I wasn't hoping for necessarily. I mean, I expect EnVyUs to win the game, but I was hoping for a few rounds for Vexed at this point. Maybe instead of a 7-0, maybe a 5-2 would be cool. But not all wishes get granted. Ferlin goes down on the A bomb site already, and Rallin is not spotting anyone on B. It's up to Groovy to hold down that A bomb site on his own, while his teammates are trying to draw it back to a 4v4. And terrorists on the other side, they have Kenny S on the prowl for some more frags. Groovy really needs to handle this situation perfectly. He is sitting behind the forklift, but the bomb is not on the A bomb site yet. EnVyUs is taking their time. They consider a push through middle. And now Vex is getting impatient. They want to go for some information. They flash Groovy into A main, and he stays there. But he won't be contested by the terrorists. They will all go through middle. The CTs at least can put their mind to ease on the A-bomb side, but they have to worry about Speedway now. Reaper is doing a good job. Rallin is still on the B-bomb side. Reaper picked up the orb that Ferlin dropped, but it wasn't enough. Groovy gets traded by Happy. So EnVyUs in control of the A-bomb side. Happy flashes himself in there to plant the bomb. And Kenny S is tasked with the covering of his bomb planter. He's got the truck held down. But Rallin, so far, did a good job of coming back into the round for the CTs. This is the Most promising round so far for Vexed. They have the equipment still, and they have the weaponry as well. Oh, great flash. Happy goes to work on the first one. He gets traded by Hyper, and Hyper knows where EnVyUs must be hiding. He's trying to get the frag with the USP, running out of bullets on every single weapon. Picks up the AK, goes for the desperation move, but EnVyUs will shoot him down through the smoke. And EnVyUs gets the 8-0. But what a heavily contested round that was. Vex coming back from a huge deficit thanks to Rellen's AWP play, and then thanks to Hyper's play. Sadly for Hyper, it didn't quite work out with the USP, and the AK was picked up a little too late for him. The CT's on the save. EnVyUs is strolling away with the scoreline, really showing who's the favorite, who is the mean guy on in the school. They are bullying Vexed at the moment. Repo tries to do cheeky. Oh, MBK finally takes his time there. I was worried for a moment. Rallen is sneaking in the back, but his teammates have to hold off this push on the A bomb site. They're stacked up together. Maybe they can do some damage here. They have the 5-7 and the CZ75, but the flashes are on point for EnVyUs. If you play this strategy time and time again, if you have cleaned up the A bomb site so many times, it's all just daily business for you, you know? You don't even have to think. You throw the flash at the timing, your teammate waits for it already, he will push around that corner. They all know which angles are blinded, and they also know how to push and get rid of the saving CTs. EnVyUs doing a great job here. 9 rounds in a row. 14 kills for Happy. 10 for EnVyUs. And apart from 2 rounds, the 9 rounds have been fairly one-sided. Now Reaper is doing a good job opening up, but he quickly gets disposed of by the terrorist. Hyper tries to get back with hyperly aggressive play through the smoke. They will feel him and smell him, and they will take him down together. Now Rallen is inside the site already. He's the last line of defense for the CTs. But again, the flashes are on point. The Molotov will force him out of his position. EnVyUs wasn't prepared for that angle. The CTs will push in middle as well. Furlan doing a good job over there. Now Groovy has to help his teammate out. Rallen with another frag from the B bomb site onto NBK, making it a 1v3. They're looking promising for the CTs, but there are still 53 more seconds until this round is over, and Happy can extend that time if he plants the bomb. Good flash timing by Rallen. Happy using his own flash, not to the best effect. And Rallen has him covered. Triple kill for him. 8 kills for Rallen. He knows how important he will be, and he is for Vex Gaming. If they want to get those rounds, the AWP has to be on point. It's I don't want to make all the AWP players be heroes, but you know, it's the gun that can change those rounds. Just a quick click and it's a 4v4 again. Another click and it's a 4v3. And they know how important they are also to gather information and to keep the opponent from being a little bit too quick. You know, if EnVyUs know, oh well, there is no resistance for us, we can move anywhere, there are no scopes, or the scope is not dangerous to us, then EnVyUs would just simply overrun Vexed. But now they know there is a dangerous scope on the map. We have to watch out. We can't just run in there and expect the rounds to go away on their own. We have to work for it. Repo is in the cheek, but Apex, how did he expect him? Captures middle. Once again, it's Rallen to put up resistance against the terrorists. Happy is coming for a bomb site already. Good flashes by Happy. Doing the job on his own. CTs have Groovy on the lookout. He didn't hear Happy so far, The terrorists are on the way to the bomb, so they don't know that Groovy is still around. He only picks up 1 frag. That's not quite enough to give his teammates a fighting chance. Hyper and Relin try to get a peek over here, but they won't. The terrorists already have very good positions. Happy and Kenny are on the forklift together, and Kyo is the forefront of defenses, covering the backs of his teammates, and he's in quad as well, so he can go for a cheeky peek here and there. He can find out if the CTs are close. And EnVyUs will get another round after Vexed has won their first. Envy make it 10-1.
Terrorists win.
But I already mentioned, or I think I mentioned it, at least I mentioned it today. Cash is the... Oh, what is Groovy doing here? That was definitely a misbuy. I don't think that he intentionally picked up the AUG. But talking about the balance of the map, it is a fairly terrorist-sided map, so to all the Polish fans here, keep your dreams alive. Vexed might be able to pull it back, even though the chances are really slim. Reaper's alone in middle with the Deagle. He will be pushed by the terrorists. They make their way in there. Apex takes point. Ralland with a shot onto Kyo. And Reaper is still there in middle. Apex will smoke him off, so the Deagle can't do the damage. At least not now. EnVyUs is getting closer to the A-bomb, so the CTs have 2 players in there. But both of them are flashed. The flash game by EnVyUs is just on point today. Or overall it is on point. If your opponents can't see, they can't really shoot you. So you know the deal. Envy is doing a good job of flashing their way into the A-bomb site. Vex can't avoid them. They have to be a little more cautious. Or maybe they just should look at a wall as long as they don't hear the flashes. EnVyUs is probably not executing. That's another way to deal with the opponent if they use their superior flashes. Just wait for them to get close. Wait for them to go in and flash their way in. And after that, you pop up.
Terrorists win.
Reaper at least saves the AUG, even though that would be the least weapon I would go for a save for. But EnVyUs will pick up another round. The CT's money is not looking good. They only have that 1 rifle to kill them all. And I don't know why they passed it on to... they will pass it on to Ralland, so he at least has a tiny scope. Maybe he feels more comfortable with a scope on top of his weapon. He could spot the toes of Kyo. If he moves a little further now, Ralland at least gathered the information. 1 guy on B. Kenny will be the next one. Oh, they both tag each other, but Kenny has the bigger gun and takes off one of the feet of Ralland. 16 HP remain, and EnVyUs is just holding on to their positions. Oh, attacked by Kenny. Yes, he's getting over his head a little bit. MBK gets taken down to 64 by his teammate. A lot of team damage dealt by EnVyUs today. And Groovy picks up the unlikely frag on Apex in A main. The same goes for Ralland onto Kyo. Wow, that was so close. Hyper with the CZ75 spray. MBK almost went down. Now another tag by Repo. MBK just stays alive time and time again. 3v3 still. A feasible round for the CTs. Berlin working on the A-bomb side. Doesn't get the kill on Happy. Ralland is still inside, but Reaper will kill Happy. So the B-bomb side is the point of entrance now. Ralland is still there. Gets the first one and the second as well. Triple kill for Ralland in the round. As I said, the most unlikely weapon, but the AUG makes it happen for Vexed. They pull the upset against EnVyUs, and the Poles might make it 11-4 now. Let's keep our fingers crossed to see a closer map here. So there is a random player joining the server for the second time now. Even though the admin changed the password, so I don't know what's the problem. Let's see if Vex can be a problem for Envy. The Frenchman went for their, let's go for an entry pick on every possible entrance. Now they will execute again, and as you can see, the flashes will once again completely blind Furlan. He gets tagged on the way back. He can't put up any resistance at all, and it's left to 3 CTs. Fairly tagged terrorists need to watch out still, especially for Groovy, who might be the backstabber, but he needs to hurry up. The bomb is ticking. Hyper turning away from that flash. But will Vexed actually contest this round? I don't think so. They are not going for it anymore. Groovy didn't push further than this line, and as you can see, Hyper and Relin already back away. They want to save the double AWP. They want to set up again for the last round of this half. It will be 12-2 in favor of EnVyUs. On the first map, it's their map pick. And they got off to a very good start. I'm not sure if Vex can recover from that first half. Furlan with the Famous as well as Repo. They got the drops from the saving players. Maybe it will be the saving grace as well. EnVyUs is getting up with their own double AWP setup though. Kyo is holding down the B-bomb site. He most likely has an AK drop next to him. He can switch to the rifle while Apex doing a good job opening up A even further. Kenny already got the first frag for the terrorists. And now it's Vex again, down 2 man. It makes it so amazingly much harder for the CTs to hold on to the bomb sites. And also not only to the bomb sites, but also, like we see for Repo, to areas of the map that are key positions, like middle. Groovy tried his best with that flash peak combination. It goes down to Apex for his second frag of the round. Repo behind the forklift. MBK is on point as well. Hyper, the only one alive for the CTs, and he won't be alive any longer. 13-2 in favor of EnVyUs. 18 kills for Happy. 14 for Kenny S. And on the other side, we have Rylan on 13 and 6. 5 and 3 for the rest of his squad. Rylan amongst the good fraggers here on the server, but that's not enough for him. Or at least not enough for his team. And Apex is already racing for some map control and some information at the same time. He will push them even further out of the A bomb site. His teammates already did a good job, but Vex is ahead of everything. They stay together and they figure, okay, we've got a backstabber coming. Let's all focus on him for now and take him down together. Good job by them, but Happy is going for another backstab in middle. Same goes for NBK. Each team or both teams try to outplay each other. Terrorists will check back, and Hyper with the Tech 9 frag onto MBK. A very good start into the round for Vex Gaming. They make it a 4v2 already. Kenny S is still inside the CT spawn alley, but he will be backstabbed as well in a second. If he hadn't gone down to Hyper, he would have been killed by Rallen. Happy, the last man standing. He's got armor and the USP to work with, but it won't necessarily be enough. Well, at least for that one frag it will. Oh, he's clicking himself another one. The terrorists need to watch out. But finally, Ralling gets rid of him. Great reactions by Happy. 13-3 though. Vexed with the first round in the second half. The score of Mouse and X-Titan, by the way, was 16-9 on the first map, and then 16-14 on the second. It was Cash and Cobblestone. The second map in this best of 3 will be Train, the map pick by Vexed. Look at that stack by Envy. Something that I really like seeing. People stacking in eco rounds. Best chance to win a round, obviously, if you stick together. Vex is doing a good job of scouting the map for a possible stack, though. And Rellin is quite positive that there is nobody around in the A bomb site. You can see him check every single corner, and no problem for him on NBK. The bomb will be carried into the A bomb site as well, and Rellin tries to hold it down. The CT spawn alley will be covered by him for now, and his teammates will move forward. At the same time, Hyper is occupied with killing the rest of the CTs that try to exit through the other side. They have them pinched in. They should get those kills without too many problems. Kenny's already down to 5, and both positions are known. Well, Kyu still gets away with a cheeky frag, but Hyper is there. It's a good job by Vex eliminating the EnVyUs opponents, making it very expensive and almost too expensive for Envy to put up a resistance in this round. They still go for a 5-7 on Kenny S, which I don't necessarily understand, but he wouldn't be able to afford an AWP anyway, so why would you save that money? You can put up more resistance with a 5-7 than you could with a P2000 or a USP. Vex looking for some money here. Ferlin on the Mac-10 will run into the stack on the B-bomb side. Scouted that already. A quick exchange of frags resolves in a 3v3 now. The terrorists were lucky to not have the bomb inside yet. They will run away with that one. They will plant it on the A-bomb side while Hyper is still caught in check-it. I don't know if the CTs have spotted him. Happy seems to be focused on that one. But now he rotates as well. And MBK has a different angle on the vents. Now the CTs will focus on that one gun they can kill. But Hyper is calling in for some help. And it's not working the way they wanted to. The CTs with the 2 frags. Repo against 2 CTs. 40 seconds on the clock. It's got the Galil against the AK and P2000. MBK is now the last man standing. Good job by Repo eliminating the AK at first. And now he can focus on the... Oh, he just aborted the plant. Try that again. Now it is down. NBK goes for the peek, and Repo has him covered. Triple kill for him. Crucial round for Vex to win. He doesn't reach the AK anymore. But at least Vex survived that scary situation. It shouldn't have been a 2v1. Especially with Vexed having an open A bomb site, having 2 players there. Hyper was in check-it. He should have been able to get out of there on his own. But Vex was a little too hasty. They tried to help their teammate, and it was almost going to be their downfall. Velen is looking for a frag in middle in this first rifle round. Kenny will afford the AWP, but he won't afford armor. And he doesn't have that many nades to work with. The same goes for Apex. Doesn't have any nades left anymore. This could be a problem for EnVyUs. They can't utilize their great flash timing. They can't go for flash peaks in A main. They literally have to wait for Vex to make their move. And Vex on the other side, they have all the nades they want to have. Can check out every corner, every space that the CTs could use to be aggressive in or defensive in as well. 3 CTs inside the B-bomb site. This is going to be a clash of titans. Berlin with the first frag. Repo goes down to Kyu, who steps it up. Kyu is now taken down by Groovy with the push. Then Hyper stays back, covering his teammates back, but Rallin is alone inside the site, and now it's only Hyper, the last hope for Vexed to get back into this game. They need this round, they need the rifle, but it doesn't look too good for Hyper. They already know where he is, they know where the bomb is as well, and he's got to play against an AWP as well as 2 different rifles. First one is taken down, but the second isn't. Hyper going to be less effective than happy in this one. 14-5 now, only 2 more rounds to go for EnVyUs. The winner of this matchup will qualify for the LAN finals. $200,000 at stake in the Gameshow Global eSports Cup, brought to you by Azubu and Gameshow. And Vex did a good job of qualifying for the playoffs here in the second group stage in Europe. But I don't know if they can really come back here. Happy with the cheeky frag on top of his teammate. The terrorists will push in there with the force buy, but they will be caught in the crossfire. Now good flashes by the terrorists. Hyper with the frag. A second one to follow, but Apex comes back for the CTs. And the triple with the FAMAS allows EnVyUs to have a comfortable 10-round map point lead. And the terrorists on the other side, they don't only have to struggle against 10 map points, but also against their own finances. They are buying down to 0, that's obvious, but they will only end up with a Galil for Hyper and 3 Tech 9s. The only option for them, a quick A push. They don't have the nades to make it a longer round, so they try to get ahead of their opponents. And Groovy is doing a good job of killing Happy in the back of the site. NBK though with the refrag. Now Groovy can't use the scope yet. He can't find the second shot either. It's Apex with a pistol to shut Furlan down, and NBK with a double kill on the terrorists will finish it off. EnVyUs will win 16-5. And, yeah, Vex did get a few rounds, thanks to the pistol round. But the first rifle didn't end their way. So it's 23 frags for Happy, 20 for Kenny's in 21 rounds. Good job by EnVyUs, proving all the fans right. 90 to 10% odds in favor of EnVyUs. I thought that EnVyUs are going to win this best of 3. Let's see if they can win the second map as decisively as they did on the first one. It is going to be Train, the map pick of Vexed. And I think Train has that upset potential if you have the right start on the terrorist side or on the CT side, depending on where you start on. You can really rack up a few rounds. I'm curious to see that. I hope you will stay with me. This is the Gameshow Global eSports Cup. My name is Dabu. You can follow me on Twitter, and I would appreciate that. If you have any feedback, fire away in chat. Since it works again, I can communicate to you. I thank you for staying around. We will be back in 10 minutes. Or maybe 5. We are quite quick, so stay around.